Hi everyone, so welcome to today's video. Thanks for joining me. Today I have an exciting video. The drugstore is killing it with the launches. They're just coming out left and right. I ordered some things recently off of the Ulta website that are brand new. I haven't seen any of these in store yet. We will eventually as the days and weeks go by. We are now already in June, which is wild, and we're going to be seeing a lot of new summer launches and releases. I've got my hands on some good things that I cannot wait to play with, and I am so excited personally. I hope that you will enjoy these kinds of videos, and I'm going to try to do them as often as I can, getting the products as soon as I see them online, on Amazon, Ulta, or in stores, snagging them and quickly filming a video and giving you my thoughts. I'm going to use all drugstore products today. I'm going to fill in the gaps with some additional drugstore products that are not brand new launches for today's video. I'm going to list and link everything as always down below in the description box, so check that out if you're interested. But we're going to go ahead and get started because we have so much to talk about and I cannot wait. I'm just ready to dive on in. Starting off the complexion, CoverGirl has some new skin enhancer primers. Out of the lineup that's new, I chose the Velvet Blur Primer because I personally like to have more of a smooth base, smooth texture, minimize the pores, and that's what this claims to do with niacinamide, and it helps keep the makeup on with a velvet soft matte finish. On the back it says that it's a silky lightweight balm that smooths and blurs texture, so it's checking off all the boxes, hopefully for me. So we're going to go ahead and apply this today. Here's a pump of the product onto my makeup palette so you can see the texture is quite thick. So I'm using my brush to push this into the skin just to help kind of smooth over the pore area, which is here on the sides of the nose, over the nose, the chin where I have any areas with dryness, maybe some areas that enhances the look of texture with foundation. So I'm aiming to go over those areas specifically between the brows, the forehead. Not so much this area here on the parameters because this is mostly where I get the most dryness, not like dry texture, but just more dry skin. This is where I have the oil production, the T-zone, and then the larger pores, which sometimes can be more evident depending on the formulation of the foundation that goes on. But this is going on really nicely, and it blended right in beautifully. Since I'm testing out a new primer, I want to use a combination of foundations and concealers that I have used already that I know work. This combination I actually really love, and I discovered it when I did the one brand video for L'Oreal products. It's the True Match Hyaluronic Skin Tint, which I ordered the wrong shade, so I ended up ordering a foundation to mix into it. This is the Super Blendable foundation, but both of these, let me tell you, it's absolutely beautiful and it wears so well. It's a solid mix that I can count on, so I'm going to be able to see what this primer is going to do using something that I know works for me. So I'm going to mix these, apply them with a beauty blender, and then I'll meet you back to talk about some other new products because I don't have a new foundation launch. So we're going to just use something that works. I'm back. I want to do a little progress check with you. The foundation that we talked about before definitely went on exactly as I expected with my beauty blender. So that is great. I did my concealer, which is the Maybelline Eraser in the fair shade. Such a oldie goodie classic concealer. I love it. And I'm in the process of also doing a little bit of baking with the Loose Fit Me powder, also by Maybelline, in the Fairlight number 10. So that is what I've got going on. That's why you can see some powder and it looks a little bit wild. Wild times over here. I'm going to let that hang out while we move to the next product. I've already done my brows pretty much all the way. At the start of the video, I had a couple products already applied. The Express Brow from Maybelline with the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. This one is starting to dry out on me, so I think it's time for me to repurchase that. This is something that I have enjoyed since I bought it. I love this so much. So now we get to do some setting and keeping these brows into place. So Maybelline has a new brow glue. It's the Super Lock Brow Glue. Do you see this packaging? I like the tube with the white and the lavender color, and I'm excited to see what hold this is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to hold well with the name Brow Glue, and we're going to see how well this applies and how well this holds through the day. So this went on with ease. I think that the applicator size of the spoolie is the perfect size to get a generous amount onto the brows without feeling goopy, without overloading the brows with a lot of product. I personally have thinner, more sparse hairs, so having very heavy amounts of any type of glue type products, gels, any sort of tinted products, it can look a little bit heavy. But I like how this was a very thin and even amount. The spoolie wasn't overly gooped up with product at the start, so I do think that this is going to work out. Bronzer's done. We're moving on to blush, and I've got some new blushes from L'Oreal. They came out with the new Lumi Lay Liquid blushes, and I ordered two shades that I was most interested in trying. These are the dewy finish. They do have some that are a little more radiant, or what they appear to be more radiant based off of the photos on the Ulta website. So I picked 2 shades that I feel like I could use for today's video. And if the formula is great, I can see myself using these again in future looks. So I ordered 2 shades, 605 and 601. 605 is the Dewy Bright Pink, which looks so pretty. And then the 601 is the Dewy Worth It shade, which is more of like a nude peachy shade. So I feel like these are going to be perfect shades for the summer. Now the question is, what color am I going to do first? So I think we're going to start with the more nude on the higher points, and then maybe the pink on the cheeks. And I want to use both. It may look crazy, but who cares? I'm just showing you what they look like, reviewing the formula. So these blushes do come with a doe foot applicator for application. You could do dots, you could swipe. I personally don't like doing that just because I'm not familiar with, 1, the formula, how it's going to blend, and 2, the level of pigmentation. So I always like putting products onto a makeup palette, working my brush into it, and I feel like that's going to be the best way, the safest way to go about doing this, so that I don't totally wreck my face for the day and put too much product and actually not enjoy the formula because it's too much to start. So I'm going to take just an angled brush, and I'm going to work this product into my brush. So as I'm blending this in, it does appear to be a little bit brighter on than it looks in the tube. It's not the brush, because this was a clean brush for today's review. And I do think that it's blending out quite nicely. And it's a really pretty soft peach shade. I am picking up a hint of a pink undertone to it, and it does have some pigment, so I'm glad I did the method of putting it onto a palette. You can also use the back of your hand if you don't have a makeup palette, because these do have some pigment to them. They're not that sheer, which is a good thing. So you need just a little bit. Now we're going to try the bright pink, because I am super excited about this one. This is the one that I had my eye on at first. This is the shade Bright Pink number 605. And I'm going to apply this to the apples of the cheek and kind of do an ombre effect where I blend this into the first shade. And here, by kind of tapping this in, you can see how much brighter this pink looks. And I think this is going to be the perfect summer pink shade. It's very pigmented. I did wipe off my brush really well. There was nothing coming off as I was rubbing it onto my paper towel. So now I'm just going to kind of blend. So you can see this is the pink shade, the bright pink, and then this is the Worth It that's more peach. They're very pigmented, easy to work with and blend, and I do feel like it does look quite smoothing over the skin, which is kind of odd because it's a dewy finish, but it actually looks really pretty. I like the shades, and I'm happy with how this is working out for me today. So I'm going to continue blending this to soften this and make it look a little bit better, and then I'm going to do the other side to match. I try to blend both cheeks to make them match and get both of sides of my face to be as even as possible. I do really like this formula. I think I use too much, but it's good because you get to see how much pigment and the true color itself. But day to day, I think I'm going to scale it way back. I think I'm going to start with just somewhat of a smaller dot and then build on that. I do feel like they blend well, they're pigmented, and they're beautiful, and they look pretty on the skin. And they went over the foundation just great, no complaints. And I did have some powder right in this area where I did the sort of mini bake for today, and I didn't have any issues with skipping, dragging, collecting over the powder and not trying to blend and enhancing any texture or doing anything weird and kind of funky over a powder. Like, I am really, really surprised, and I loved this formula. Automatically, I feel like I want to go order some more shades because I think that they're pretty great, which doesn't surprise me. L'Oreal has some good products, right? So speaking of L'Oreal, okay, let's talk about the new Fresh Wear highlighters. Ulta has both of these on their website. I bought them both, obviously, because I could not choose which one. I was leaning towards one because it's more of the shades that I tend to go for versus the lighter one. So I have both of them. I'm going to put both on because we're playing with makeup and I'm excited, so why not? The first one is Champagne Glow. This is the one that I was leaning towards wanting to use first, and I'm going to apply this one as well. And I'm going to show you the other one too, but this one I feel like is the one that I would probably reach for the most, if I'm being honest, based off of how it looks. Once it's applied, it may be a different story, but this one looks like a typical champagne with a pink undertone. Number 05, Icy Gold, is one that I would say is more of a yellow gold. It looks kind of light and ivory, but if you look at it really closely, it does lean a little bit more yellow. And I'm a little bit apprehensive for me personally with shades like this because they tend to be too gold, where it just kind of sits on the skin and it's very obvious. More champagne kind of shades, more icy kind of cool tone pinks tend to melt into the skin better for my fair skin and my personal preferences. But either way, I'm gonna give it a shot and we're gonna see how this applies. So we're gonna start with the gold shade. So here's the Icy Gold shade. Now I get it, it's a lot of product, but I want you to be able to see how gold this is. It's blending in really nicely. I have no complaints with the blend. It looks really pretty. So there's that Icy Gold. And let's do the Champagne Gold on this side with a different brush. Whoa. Okay. I can't. This is so pigmented. Wow. Wowee. Okay, so I was clearly not prepared for the level of pigment that this Champagne Glow is going to have. Like, this is wild. But I'm going to leave it so you can see this is what it looks like. It's pretty bright. It's kind of cool tone compared to this one. This one obviously looks like it melts into the skin better because it's not so bright. But this one is more cool tone. And I'm going to blend this in. I can't even. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to go over it with my damp beauty sponge that I use for my foundation and my concealer to help tone this down and make this a little bit better. Okay? This is beautiful. It's pigmented. It goes on so nicely. I just picked up way too much product. And that's not the fault of the product. That's just me being too crazy and too excited, too heavy-handed. But we're going to make it work. We're going to tone this down, guys. So that is the Champagne. And then here's the Icy Gold. Which one do you prefer? So here we are. I tried to remedy the situation as best as I could. I blended both shades together to make both sides match. I took my damp beauty sponge and pressed it over it so I can kind of blend and also somewhat lift some of this product off because these are intense, guys. I was not prepared, okay? They're beautiful, and even though this side was a little bit more intense and really bold and bright, I think I still prefer the tone of the Champagne on me personally. Next time I'm going to use less, of course. The gold is really pretty, but I don't really care too much for the gold on me personally. I have talked about not really caring for gold toned highlighters on my fair skin. I just think it's more obvious than using something with a little bit more of a cooler pink champagne undertone. So I still lean towards the Champagne side. However, I'm still going to use both. I'm still going to keep both. And they're really pretty. So if you love a nice glowy radiant highlighter, you're going to love these. They sit on the skin really smoothly. I don't feel like it's enhancing a lot of my texture. And even though I have a lot of product on my face, because I'm testing so many things out, it doesn't look bad. At least to me, it doesn't. You have to let me know. What do you think? Since I don't have a new eyeshadow release to talk about today in this video, I just took my bronzer, the same one that I use on my face, the Milani one, with a big fluffy crease brush. I apply that just lightly to the crease. And then I actually did take the highlighter from L'Oreal and just lightly dusted that over my lids just to give me a little bit of a sheen. And I use the same brush, the same crease brush to do both of those steps. I did tightline as well with the Revlon Color Stay eyeliner, and that's it. And I did a little bit of bronzer on the lower lashes, just very minimal. And that's pretty much it, just keeping it super simple for today's look. We've got some new mascaras to talk about. I'm going to demo one in this video today, and then I'm going to plug in an application of the other one just because it's two different shades. So the first one is the CoverGirl Eye Enhancer Mascara. I ordered the shade called Berry Brown. I thought this was kind of interesting to try something different, do something out of the box. I normally go for black, and I've been testing out the waters with brown mascaras. But this one, you can actually see that it does have a bit more of a berry undertone to it. And I think it's going to be pretty. The brush is curved. And I'm going to apply this one because, of course, this packaging just has my name all over it. I love pink. This is the new Firework mascara from Maybelline. It's part of their Lash Sensational line. And I like how it's textured and it's got some grooves on the packaging. That kind of flashy color with the metallic pink. It's all looking so pretty. And the brush has a lot of flexibility. I will show you an up-close shot of what the applicator looks like. And we are going to apply this to both eyes today. And I'm going to start with one coat on one eye so you can see what this actually does for the lashes. So here is one coat of the mascara and then nothing. Now let's go in with coat number 2 and see how this builds. Here's the mascara, 2 coats of the Firework mascara from Maybelline and my bare lashes so you can see the difference, the before and after. I do think that there is a very obvious difference between both eyes. I like how this definitely improved with the second coat. It lengthened my lashes a little bit more. It did separate some. I did have a little bit of clumping right through here, but this formula, since it's a new tube, seems a little bit more wet. We do have to kind of let it hang out for a little bit to see what's going to happen, if it's going to stay this way, or is it going to get better, as some mascaras tend to do with time as it sits in the drawer, maybe a week, 2 weeks in, it starts to get really, really good. So I think this is actually a pretty good first impressions, and I do like it. And I can see myself using this again. Like, absolutely, look at this. Like, all I can say is wow. So here's a look at the eyelashes. I've done 2 coats on each eye, and then I also did apply this to the lower lash line, and I'm impressed. I can see myself definitely reaching for this again. I think it made a very obvious difference between bare lashes to 2 coats. It was a wow, right? I love this mascara, and I have a feeling that this is going to get better as it hangs out in my drawer, so that makes me even more excited to continue using that. The other mascara, the Eye Enhancer Mascara in that berry brown shade, I will insert a clip for you to see how this mascara applies. So I'm going to start applying just 1 coat to one side, and I want you to be able to see the color and how this builds and lengthens the lashes, what it does. So I only did 1 coat on this eye, and then this is my bare eye with nothing on it. So I'm going to go ahead and build this up again, going in with the second coat as I normally do, apply 2 coats with every mascara. And here is the 2 coats versus nothing again. And this is both eyes complete, so you can get a feel for the color. And as you can see, it looks a little bit more red when I get really close to the lens of my camera. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. Maybe with some eyeshadow and liner, it might be okay. Moving on to lips, I have 2 products to try out today with you on camera. So the first one is the new lipsticks from CoverGirl. These are the clean lip color lipsticks. There's 8 shades on the Ulta website. I ordered just 1 just to start to see how I like this formula. This is the shade called Dreamy Pink. This is actually described as a cool pink, which drew me in right away because I've been loving my cool pink lip combos, and I'm excited to try this formula out. And the next lip product is a new release from L'Oreal. So these new lip products from L'Oreal are the Infallible Matte Resistant Liquid Lip Formula. There's 21 shades on the Ulta website. I picked up 1 shade, which honestly, we haven't heard much about this. I have not even seen this on any social media page at all. I don't even think that they have it on their Instagram. Maybe at the posting of this video, they probably will have. But I chose 1 shade, which is number 600, called First Kiss. This shade is described as a soft rose nude. I'm going to go ahead and start with the CoverGirl lipstick, just directly applied to bare lips. And here is a look at Dreamy Pink from CoverGirl. I can see myself using this color every single day. I think it's a nice pink shade that isn't too bright, it isn't too dark. It's just like that right there in that sweet spot, like a mid-tone pink shade that seems like a very everyday type of color for me. It's kind of a lips but better type of shade for me personally, so I do really like this. The formula feels really nice. It went on very easily, very smooth. It didn't drag. There isn't any sort of weird look to the lips, and I didn't use a lip liner, so of course I would in the future use this with a lip liner to get more of a precise kind of crisp line around the edge of the lips. But I do think it went on really pretty, and it's quite pigmented. To be honest with you, it is pigmented and it feels really smooth and comfortable on the lips. So this is another win. Next up, let's try that L'Oreal liquid lip and see how this applies. And this is the shade First Kiss. Ooh, it has a bit of a sweet vanilla scent, which is nice. And I like the applicator. As you may have seen with the up-close shots, it has a more triangular pointed tip, which I think is going to lend itself for a more precise shape around the edge of the lips. So I like this applicator. And let's just see about this color. Ooh, this is pretty. Yes. And here is a look at that L'Oreal lipstick. This is so good, you guys. I cannot with these products today. This looks and feels kind of velvety, very blurring on the lips. It kind of went on just so incredibly easy. It went on like butter, but it blurred the lines of my lips with no other products, no lip liner, no lip balm. This looks beautiful. I love this shade. This shade is perfect for every day. I kid you not, the first thing I thought about is the Charlotte Tilbury lip blurs. I have one, it looks like this. This is the Pillow Talk blur. This is my favorite out of the entire line of lip blurs from Charlotte Tilbury. That is beautiful. It's the perfect shade. It goes on, it fills in the lips, the lines of the lips. It makes it look smooth. It's velvety, and that's what this looks like upon application. Now, I'm not gonna say that this is gonna wear the same as that product from Charlotte Tilbury because this is my first time applying it on camera, but the feel of this reminded me so much of the lip blurs from Charlotte Tilbury. And this color is so, so pretty. Did you know that I almost forgot to talk about these new Maybelline Lifter lip liners? That's right, you heard that right. Maybelline has new lifter liners. I ordered these off of Amazon, and I almost forgot to talk about these. Like, how can I would have been so upset, you guys, if I would have forgotten this and gone back to edit and realized I did not talk about these. Okay, so let's talk about it. Maybelline Lifter lip liners. These are on the Amazon website. I'm gonna link them down below. I think eventually most retailers are gonna get it unless it's an Amazon exclusive. It didn't say that, so I'm not sure. But this is what the packaging looks like. I ordered 2 shades. The first one that I was most excited to try is the shade called Line Leader, which looks to be like an everyday color that would go perfect with this L'Oreal lip product, the CoverGirl lipstick, and pretty much anything that I would personally love to wear throughout the day. And then this one called Big Lift looks a little darker in person than it does on the photos on the Amazon site. So this one looks to be a little bit deeper and just a little bit more of a deep rose shade. So I'm going to try both of them so you can see. So let's go ahead and wipe this off. I have scrubbed the heck out of my lips. This is no joke. This stays on and will not come off with a baby wipe or just a damp paper towel or napkin. This needs to be taken off with actual makeup remover, which I don't have here in my makeup studio. So I try to do the best that I can because I'm not gonna let you go without letting you see what these look like because I am very much intrigued. So we're gonna start off with the Line Leader. So here's what Line Leader, just lining my lips, looks like. And it actually is a little bit more of a slight kind of mauve-y type of pink. Really, really pretty. And if you were to fill in your lips, this is what it would look like. And here is the shade called Big Lift. I haven't topped it with anything. On the promo photos on the Amazon site, they had this with, of course, the lifter gloss. So I'll show you that. But this shade, I'm not a big fan of because it does look quite dark. A lot darker on than it looks on the outside and a lot darker than what it looks like when you just take the cap off to see the color. So I chose the lifter gloss in Gummy Bear, which is a nice, pretty kind of milky pink shade. I thought it was going to lighten the lip liner, but it didn't. Maybe a little bit, but not enough where I would want to wear this lip gloss with this liner. But I wanted to show you for demo purposes the lifter gloss on top. I like this formula. I'm very much impressed with how this feels and looks on the lips. I like these a lot. I have, I think, 3 or 4 now in my collection. And I think that over time it may grow on me, this shade, but for every day, I don't think I like this color. It's pretty, but you have to like a little bit more of a mauve-y, kind of more purple undertone to your lip products to really enjoy this specific shade. I think I'm going to like the end result using the Line Leader lip liner. Here is another lip combo. I did the lifter liner, the dark one. I still had the gloss on, and what I did was I took a lip brush and added some of this new CoverGirl lipstick over the top. Just blended it right into the lip liner and the lip gloss, and I do prefer the way it looks now. Now I feel like I can wear these shades together. So those 3 paired together, I think is how I'm going to go forward with using this specific shade from Maybelline Lifter Liner. But I do think that the formula is really nice, super creamy, super easy to apply. And as I was removing the lighter shade to try on the other one, they did seem like it was going to stay on for quite a bit of time. So I do think that these are going to wear well throughout the day. And it's nice to see a new option for lip liners within the Maybelline line. I do like their Color Sensational automatic lip liners. Those are really nice and very creamy, and these feel the same way. These are different because you do have to sharpen them, and they're still affordable, and I do think that they are really nice. I hope this was helpful. This was really fun for me to sit down and film today. I could not wait to get this order in the mail and get all these products and try these things out, share my thoughts with you. I hope that this was helpful for you to see these products in action. The drugstore is definitely killing it with these products. These formulas are great. Like, this was a really good first impressions of these products. I'm actually honestly blown away. And I don't have anything in this video that I would not recommend that you go out and try yourself. Let me know what you think of the video. Are you gonna try any of these products? The links for everything is down below in the description box. I appreciate you so much for spending some time with me today. Again, I hope that this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts on these products, what you wanna see next. I look forward to connecting with you on Instagram. My username always pops up here on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I would love to do this again. Thanks for being here, for watching. Take care, you guys, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.